On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Seam.
A line of stitching or joining where two pieces of fabric or material are united. Also, a narrow furrow or fissure in rock or soil.
Examples:
Uneven seam. The seam on the shoulder. She took the dress to the tailor to fix the torn seam.
Replicate.
To make an exact copy of something, to repeat a process or experiment to confirm the results.
Examples:
Replicate the cell. Replicate data. The experiment was replicated several times to ensure accuracy.
Plagiarism.
The act of using someone else's words or ideas without giving proper credit or permission, the representation of another person's work as one's own.
Examples:
Commit plagiarism. Plagiarism detection. The student was accused of plagiarism after submitting a paper that contained large sections of copied text.
Iota.
An extremely small amount or quantity, a tiny or insignificant element or part, the ninth letter of the Greek alphabet.
Examples:
Without an iota of forgiveness. An iota of truth. I didn't understand an iota of what the professor was saying during the lecture.
Industrious.
Hardworking, diligent, and persistent in effort.
Examples:
Industrious worker. Industrious student. He was known to be very industrious and would often work late into the night.
Intellect.
The ability to think logically and comprehend information, especially at an advanced level.
Examples:
Enrich my intellect. Human intellect. Your intellect is capable of distinguishing among similar objects.
Splatter.
To scatter or spray liquid, mud, or a similar substance in small droplets or flecks, to stain or cover with such droplets or specks.
Examples:
Splatter paint. Splatter all over the floor. The construction workers wore protective gear to avoid being splattered with wet cement.
Utilitarian.
Designed to be practical and functional rather than decorative or luxurious.
Examples:
Utilitarian design. Utilitarian economics. The kitchen is designed with a utilitarian approach, focusing on practicality rather than aesthetics.
Seminal.
Highly original, influential, or innovative, containing the seeds or beginnings of future development or growth, of medicine, of or relating to semen or the male reproductive system.
Examples:
Seminal research. Seminal duct. The book was a seminal work in psychology, influencing generations of researchers.
Cuff.
A band or strip of material, usually worn around the wrist or ankle, often used to secure or fasten something in place. A blow or hit delivered with an open hand, typically to the head or ear.
Examples:
Cuff bracelet. Soft cuff. The doctor used a blood pressure cuff to measure my vitals.
Innovate.
To introduce new methods, ideas, or products.
Examples:
Innovate a new method. Innovate the quality of his life. Companies developing self-driving cars consistently innovate the emerging technologies.
Elevate.
To raise something from a lower to a higher position, to give a promotion to or assign to a higher position.
Examples:
Elevate educational standards. Elevate a close relationship. Eating food in a hurry elevates blood glucose levels.
Broth.
A liquid in which meat, fish, or vegetables have been cooked, used as a base for soups and stews.
Examples:
Chicken broth. Remains of broth. I always add a bit of broth to my soup to give it more flavor.
Sculptor.
An artist who creates sculptures, three-dimensional objects, or forms.
Examples:
Sculptor studio. Renowned sculptor. The famous sculptor used various tools to carve the marble into the desired shape.
Filmmaker.
A person who makes films, typically as a profession.
Examples:
Nonfiction filmmaker. A successful filmmaker. The renowned filmmaker won several awards for his latest film.
Riff.
To play a short, repeated, tuneful phrase, often used in jazz and rock. To improvise or go off on a humorous tangent. Noun, a short, repeated, tuneful phrase.
Examples:
Rock and roll riff. Riff off the audience's reactions. She began to riff on the theme of love lost in her poetry.
Zeitgeist.
The spirit or general outlook of a particular period of time, especially as it is reflected in the beliefs and attitudes of that time, the cultural, intellectual, or moral climate of a society or era.
Examples:
The zeitgeist of the era. Cultural zeitgeist. The political speech resonated with the zeitgeist of national unity and cooperation.
Imaginable.
Capable of being imagined.
Examples:
Easily imaginable. Worst imaginable case. This is the only imaginable strategy.
Chime.
To make a ringing sound, usually by striking an object like a bell or wind chime, to harmonize or agree with something else, Noun, a set of musical bells or metal tubes that produce a musical sound when struck or played.
Examples:
Glass wind chime. Chime with the music. The grandfather clock chimed solemnly, signaling the hour.
Dictate.
To state or give order with total authority, to say or read aloud for somebody else to write down or to be recorded.
Examples:
Dictate a letter to secretary. Dictate to the associate. The Allies dictated the terms of surrender to the country.
Remix.
To compose a piece of media that has been altered or contorted from its original state by adding, removing, or changing elements of the item.
Examples:
Remix a couple of tracks. Remix the album. He remixed the tracks to give them a jazz feel.
Confer.
To have a meeting or discussion, to come to a decision or agreement or exchange ideas, to bestow something.
Examples:
Confer degree. Confer honor. The leaders of the two countries met to confer on the issue.
Stint.
A period of time spent doing a particular job or activity, a set amount of work or activity.
Examples:
Stint of work. Prison stint. He took a short stint as a teacher before returning to law practice.
Counterfeit.
Made an imitation of something else to deceive or defraud, not genuine or authentic.
Examples:
Counterfeit document. Counterfeit money. The company hired a team of experts to identify counterfeit products in their supply chain.
Titanic.
Of or having a great size, power, or influence, of or relating to titanium, equals a light, strong gray, lustrous, corrosion-resistant metallic element.
Examples:
Titanic battle. Titanic compound. The Titanic ship sank on its maiden voyage.
Anecdote.
A short and amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person.
Examples:
Personal anecdote. Funny anecdote. She entertained the guests with anecdotes about her travels and experiences.
Bebop.
A style of jazz characterized by fast tempos, complex chord progressions, and improvisation, developed in the mid-1940s.
Examples:
Bebop jazz. Bebop musician. The band played an upbeat bebop tune that got everyone dancing.
Impersonate.
To pretend to be someone else, often with the intent to deceive or defraud, to imitate the mannerisms or speech of another person as a form of tribute or satire.
Examples:
Impersonate a government official. Impersonate a character. The comedian is famous for his ability to impersonate famous politicians.
Artful.
Skillful and cunning, often deceitfully or cleverly, displaying artistic or creative skill.
Examples:
Artful design. Artful manipulation. The writer's artful descriptions made the reader feel as though they were part of the story.
Ineffectual.
Lacking the ability or power to produce a desired effect or result, inadequate or futile in achieving a goal or purpose.
Examples:
Ineffectual attempt. Ineffectual policy. The manager's ineffectual leadership led to decreased employee morale and productivity.
Quash.
To suppress or put down forcibly, particularly a rebellion, protest, or opposition, to nullify or reject a decision, judgment, or ruling that is seen as unjust or erroneous, to silence or extinguish a rumor or controversy.
Examples:
Quash a rumor. Quash a rebellion. The court decided to quash the charges against the accused due to lack of evidence.
Wacky.
Funny in a slightly odd, peculiar, irregular way.
Examples:
Wacky value. Wacky plan for selling more books. His friend was a pretty wild and wacky character.
Sculptural.
Relating to or resembling sculpture, equals a three-dimensional work of art, having a three-dimensional quality or appearance.
Examples:
Sculptural masterpiece. Sculptural design. The sculptural details on the building's facade were simply stunning.
Hairdo.
A particular way of arranging or styling one's hair, a hairstyle.
Examples:
Casual hairdo. Bridal hairdo. The hairstylist created a stunning hairdo for the bride on her wedding day.
Embarrass.
To cause someone to feel awkward, worried, or ashamed.
Examples:
Embarrass political enemy. Embarrass my project. He looked for an opportunity to embarrass that actor in public.
Circulate.
To move continuously or freely around a place or closed system.
Examples:
Circulate a rumor. Circulate an agenda before the meeting. The fan circulates the air in the room quickly.
Subvert.
To undermine, overthrow, or weaken the established order, system, or authority. To bring about fundamental change or revolution from within.
Examples:
Subvert power. Subvert expectations. The rebels could subvert the government's plans by leaking classified information.
Tether.
To tie or secure an animal, person, or object with a rope, chain, or other similar devices to prevent it from moving too far away. Noun, a rope or chain used to tie up or restrain an animal, such as a horse or dog.
Examples:
Tether a horse. Tether strap. The hiker tethered their dog to a tree while they camped for the night.